What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the other day I saw a video over on YouTube by the Optic page, actually, where the team, well, not the team, but, some of the, previous Optic members like Nadeshot, Scump, so on and so forth, were having a little bit of a discussion about current day Call of Duty. And Nadeshot threw out some phenomenal points, some great points that, to me personally, just really sets Activision straight. And it shows, once again, one of the biggest problems when it comes down to Call of Duty and also skill-based matchmaking. But, ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and dive deep, if you guys are interested in more content just like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And, of course, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch. And actually, today, we're going to be checking out Marvel Rivals, the brand new update that just recently dropped. So, if you guys are interested, you want to hang out with me and see the new update, you can find a link to my Twitch channel down in the description of this video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, it's a lot of stuff that Nadeshot says here, so I'm going to shut the heck up and just play pretty much everything for you guys.
And if you want to make somebody's experience who's complaining about that everybody's moving too fast and people are too good, then crank the fucking skill-based matchmaking threshold and make sure the fathers are playing with the fathers. I don't think that, look, I think it's easy for us to oversimplify because we're not on the back end actually coding this shit and looking at all the data that they have. But I think they need to stop trying to nerf the ability that you have playing the game, because when there is a skill gap, that's what gets people addicted to the game and makes it more fun to play. When you have the ability to outplay somebody in any situation you're in, that's what keeps people coming back to play the game. Like, you want to be able to play the game and see yourself improving, wiping an entire team, going into solo quads. Like, that's the shit that people want to see. That's the shit that people want to play. That's the shit that people want to aspire to be able to do, even if you don't have a ton of time to play the game. They got to stop listening to the complaints that they hear. And the people that you said are developing the game, I don't think it's that they don't play the game itself. They just don't understand what people actually want. I think it just, with the separate teams coming in every single year, everybody's trying to guess what would make the game better. And they want to have their own little spin on it and have their body of work feel independent and separate from the team that worked on it last year. And so you just have too many cooks in the kitchen. They should have like a SWAT team internally whose entire job is to continue the integrity of the way that the game is played year after year after year. And then all the other ancillary teams, like, they can work on the art, they can work on the environment, they can work on, the events that happen in game. But there needs to be a small pocket of people whose entire job is to protect the way that the game is played and your ability to play the game.
But there needs to be a liaison and somebody that represents the esports side of Call of Duty, the Warzone side of Call of Duty, and the multiplayer side of Call of Duty, and then that can happen. But since 2006, nothing has happened. We're sitting here, almost 20 years from 2006, 2005, when Call of Duty 4 came out, and nothing has ever gotten even remotely close to that. Because even when we had Vonderhaar, missed the dude. And not that he's gone, he's still he's racing, having a good time. Yeah. But we do miss Vaughn. Like, he was the only time that we ever really felt like we had a liaison that listened, and then he had his own fight that he fought, and he fought.
Maddox is pretty good though.
Yeah, Maddox is good. Yeah, again. And then there are
the only two people.
Yeah, but think about it. Two people in the last.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's kind of wild.
Ladies and gentlemen, this video over on YouTube was absolutely phenomenal. And of course, I'll leave the link to the whole footage down in the description of this video in case, you guys want to go ahead and dissect it yourself and, see it from beginning to end. But they pretty much covered everything that I have been preaching about for ages now. Everything between, the matchmaking, why it doesn't feel, rewarding, all the way over to the developers and how they don't communicate with their actual audience, how they aren't even passionate about the games that they're making, let alone they're probably not even FPS players themselves. This right here is the current standing of Call of Duty, ladies and gentlemen. But Nadeshot is preaching, again, when it comes to the matchmaking within a game like Call of Duty, people don't want to be playing competitively in a casual experience. That was never the vibes of COD. I say it all the time and I'll say it again, but every single time that you are popping off and you're having a blast in Call of Duty, someone is having a bad experience as well. But that has always been the trade-off of Call of Duty since the beginning of time. And again, you could always feel yourself improve. You would start off getting, decent streaks to be getting better streaks. And, at the end of the day, if you really got good at Call of Duty, you can get streaks very consistently, dropping choppers all the time, so on and so forth. But you could always feel that sense of progression And at the same exact time, you would get whooped up too, and other people would be able to drop streaks on you. It wasn't always just, a win-win for you 24/7. The tables would turn, and you would have to go ahead and, suck it up a bit. But the way that the matchmaking is handled now takes every last bit of life out of COD. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but whoever is putting together this matchmaking system is a big, huge wussy. Their only goal right now is to make sure that nobody's emotions are going to be affected or hurt. Like I just said, since the beginning of time with Call of Duty, it's always, someone is going to be having a bad time, right? Whether it's you or the opponent, someone's going to be, getting slapped down while the other person's going to be able to enjoy getting a bunch of streaks. They don't want that anymore. They're trying to change what made Call of Duty fun in the first place, popping off and getting streaks, the rewarding streaks, right? If streaks weren't really necessarily in the game, how many people would actually hop into the casual COD experience? I guarantee everybody would probably just go play ranked, because guess what? That's basically ranked, right? Everybody who hops into casual wants to be able to go to town. They don't want that anymore. They don't. And you can call me, I guess, egotistical or whatever you want to call me as much as you want. But, I mean, it is what it is. I'm just speaking the truth on what Call of Duty is about. Everybody who hops on COD, who hops into the casual experience, wants to obtain something really cool, which is usually the streaks to tear up a whole lobby. Like I said, they don't want that. They know that when that occurs, someone is going to be getting whooped and they're not going to be enjoying their experience. They want everybody to enjoy their experience. So by doing so, they remove the ability to, have that advantage of being able to pop off over someone who might not be in your same skill bracket, They want every single match to be as equal as possible. And what does that equate to? A ranked experience. You can't go for AC-130s. You can't go for gunships. You can't go for nukes. Forget all of that noise. Everybody's rocking UAVs, maybe a napalm or something like that. All low-end streaks, because that's what the matchmaking caters towards. It's literally the ranked experience. When you go into ranked, nobody's running high stuff, right? Because again, when you go into ranked, you go into that experience with the mindset that you aren't going to be popping off. You're going to be versing equal opponents. You're playing for an actual ranked. So you set up your class accordingly. In casual, that's what it all is now. There is no such thing as, casually going for insane streaks anymore. You set up your casual, class setups exactly how you would set up your ranked setups. And it's hilarious because the developers think that they're making your experience good by doing this, right? They think by making sure that you never get stomped out completely by these insane streaks, that you are going to be having a good time. When in reality, that's not the case, because now it's just, like I said, you're playing ranked 24/7 and nobody is logging on to the casual experience to play ranked. People are okay with getting whooped up in the casual experience. But again, it has to be just open, genuine matchmaking. Only relying on ping and skill should not be a factor. Throw everybody into the mix, give everybody a boot camp so the new players can get their crap together before hopping into the mass population, and then just let everybody go loose, right? That's the fun of casual. That's what people want. But the developers think that people want to never run into that. So they want to verse equal opponents 24/7 because you guys understand what I'm saying here. COD isn't about fair fun. That's just the simple reality of things. Like I said, you can call me egotistical as much as you want, but at the end of the day, yes, it's fun to improve at COD, and you could do that in the competitive scene, but when it comes to casual gameplay, nobody gives a crap. Not a single soul. Everybody wants to hop in and do well. And that's not guaranteed every single day. And you are, indeed, as a player, going to have to improve naturally, but the matchmaking won't be fighting against you. If you choose to get better, and if you choose to want to try to obtain these streaks and, do cool things, you can do so. But nowadays, the matchmaking is forcing you not to. Me, myself, personally, I'm a 2+ KD player across the board in many of these Call of Duty games. I barely even want to try for these higher end streaks. I can get them, obviously, but it takes hours upon hours upon hours upon hours. And I'm not even performing bad. I'll go like 60 and 20 or like 50 and 15 or something like that. Great scores, good KDs. But again, it's not very entertaining because it's still so hyper competitive. To get those scores, I'm sweating my nuts off. I'm versing the most insane competition again and again and again. I'm getting basically my ranked scores. KDs and stuff like that I would get in ranked with getting no streaks and stuff like that, just simply trying to play and hold OBJs and, do well for my team. That's it. That's it. But it's in the casual realm. It's just not logical to me. It really is not. And I agree with Nadeshot here. You know, that is going to be a huge downfall of Call of Duty because in reality, people want to hop on and go crazy, you know? And again, it's going to take some work and practice to be able to go crazy. But at the end of the day, people don't want to have to be held back. They don't want to go through all the work and the effort to learn how to do such, you know, good things in the game. Just for the matchmaking to turn around and say, well, you know, screw all your effort. You know, you're playing ranked, right? You know, you really wanted an AC-130? That sucks because you're never going to get one because we're going to make sure that you're versing literally Optic Scump every match that you play, and you're going to be playing the CDL tournaments for $2,000 with every single game that goes by. It's a ridiculous situation that we're in, ladies and gentlemen. And again, not just that, what they mentioned, but also when they mentioned the developers, you know, just not being there with the community, that really hit home because I just got done saying that in my previous video. The developers seem like they literally don't even play FPS games, and they don't give a crap about this community whatsoever. Sledgehammer Games did a great job, and I really feel like that's why people are fighting back with Black Ops 6, because Sledgehammer Games gave us a little taste of what it, you know, feels like to have a team listen to us. And they don't have to go all, you know, overboard and do everything around the community, because let's be real, if they listen to the community 24/7, they'll probably end up making the worst Call of Duty game known to mankind. They have to still stick to their guns, but the community needs to be a part of the process. We need to know what's going on, keep us in the loop, and yes, incorporate some of our ideas when, you know, they fit the game itself. That is what we need. And then Black Ops 6 is here, and we're turning around again. They're partially being open with us, but I don't know what's happening. I don't know if Activision is not allowing them to speak or Microsoft's not letting them, you know, speak. I don't know what the heck's happening here. But, you know, like Hector said, that's his name, right? Hector. I don't really watch too much of the CDL. Like I said, when it comes to the CDL, the main people I know are like Nadeshot and the Scump, Optic Hex and stuff like that, though. You know, when he said that it's like, what, 2 devs who actually talk to the community in 14 plus years? How depressing is that, right? Like, that's why we're in the situation that we're in. There's no connection between the developers and their audience. And when we finally do get that connection, like with Modern Warfare 3 2023, it only lasts for a year, so it never actually holds, and then we go right back to the same crap, and the community starts beefing with, you know, it always ends up being a disaster. And the last point, though, as well, that Nadeshot mentioned, I want to mention this as well, because, again, I was worried about this. If you guys remember my video a while ago, when, you know, the leaks and rumors came out that Microsoft or Activision are making an internal team that's going to dictate, you know, what Call of Duty is going to be. You know, they're going to be basically the ground, the foundation of COD. They're going to make sure that, you know, certain aspects will never change. The developers cannot have creative freedom with certain things, but they can still do other things and be creative. But there's a certain, you know, set boundaries that COD just simply has to be COD. And there's going to be a set team watching over everything and making sure that those standards stay the same. Well, I mean, Nadeshot mentioned it again, which is making me think that that is not going to be a leak anymore. That's going to be facts, and that's how Activision and Microsoft are going to be handling things. I'm assuming there is going to be a small team, you know, put together that will manage that. I just, again, hope that it's not going to go backwards, because if you guys remember from my previous video, I was saying, if they don't get the right people to maintain those boundaries, things are not going to be looking pretty for Call of Duty. But if they can get the right group of individuals who know what makes Call of Duty, that could be a huge game changer. But overall, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to share this, you know, this video with you guys, because I thought it was very interesting to hear a lot of them come out and say, you know, pretty similar things to me, and also say exactly what needs to be said about skill-based matchmaking and why it ruins the casual experience for Call of Duty. Once again, people hop into COD because they want to casually be able to go in, not have to worry, not have to, you know, stress, and just be able to, you know, kick it. Sometimes they have bad games, but at the end of the day, on the other spectrum, they're going to get some good games, right? You know, at the end of the day, everybody's going to have a bad time at some point in Call of Duty, but that's just how it goes. Trying to even out the experience, make sure nobody has a bad experience, backfires, because guess what? That means everybody has a bad experience. If you do that, that means nobody's going to be having fun, because in ranked, yes, people want that. They want to stress. They want to, you know, sweat for that rank and try their hardest and, you know, get into those very competitive games. They want that, but they opt into it, so they're ready for it. Anybody who opts into the casual side of COD are not doing that. The parents coming home after their 10+ hour shift to, you know, try to hang out with their family and see their kids a little bit, who are going to hop on for 30 minutes to an hour, don't want to play some do want to go and play ranked, but again, they go play ranked. If they hop into casual, they don't want to deal with that crap. You know, they might have a bad game, but then at the same time, they might have a good game, and then they'll hop off and go about their business. They don't hop onto casual to go ahead and verse the ultimate competition for the most nail, you know, biting games and finishes. Like, seriously, who actually hops into casual to go ahead and do that? Ladies and gentlemen, of course, go down in the comments section, leave your opinions about all this information. Let me know if you think I'm just being egotistical and all I want to do is pub stomp noobs. Again, like I said, I'm heavy into ranked. I love, like, for example, CSGO, Valorant, Rainbow Six Siege. I don't play casual in any of those games. I play ranked because that's what I enjoy out of it. But since the beginning of time, Call of Duty and its identity has always been tied into people just, you know, having those occasional matches where they can pop off. And over half of these people, honestly, I would argue all of these people playing like it's a competition, like it's $5,000 on the line, is not how they want to enjoy their casual side of Call of Duty. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time. And if you guys do want to check out any of my live streams, I do stream over on Twitch Monday through Saturday. And today we are playing, like I said earlier, Marvel Rivals. So if you guys are interested, I got a link to that channel down in the description of this video. As always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.